Right now, I think we have 3 hikes in Chicago, the Chicago area. Most of them are going to be in Northwest Indiana. A lot of them are in Indiana Dunes National Lake. But we also, starting I think in April, have kayaking events. Those will be the second Saturday of every month at 9 a.m. And for some of those, we will have kayaks and canoes available. So we ask that you RSVP for those, and we'll put you on our email list and send that out after this event. So you'll be on our email list going forward. And please spread the word. We do have a brochure that we're getting printed. We don't have a website yet, but we're working on that. And we hope to continue this in future years. And if you have a hike idea or want to lead a hike, please let us know. And we'll be happy to do it. Mark.
So,
Mark Bowman.
my name is Mark Bowman. I'm a professor at Chicago State University. I work with Eric and Laura on some things. And when we say Calumet Region, what we mean is an area that covers both Indiana and Illinois, and I got a map here, so please help yourself to those. That shows you a good idea of what the whole region is. Hegewisch Marsh is marked on the map, so you can kind of locate where we are today. Also, I do want to, if anybody is interested in this, on March 3rd, there's a group of us getting together for something called Green Drinks, Chicago Southland. It's the first one of these efforts. I think it'll be hot coffee, hot chocolate.
It does happen to be at a brewery.
Oh, and it's at a brewery. Forgot about that. And so, anyway, take one of these if you're interested in green drinks, and we hope we can see you there. Today, our host is the City of Chicago Department of Environment, and Terry is under the weather today. So,
we're going to
between
fly
us,
by the seat of our pants a little bit and cool our knowledge of the Calumet
Right.
region, and hopefully get some good interaction going and just experience some sightseeing.
so this is Laura Milford from the Field Museum of Natural History.
Yay! Thank you. And I think Jennifer Maxwell as well here from the Department of the Environment. So,
Quick explanation of what you guys do at Field Museum, because a lot of people don't understand what Field Museum is.
Sure. So again, my name is Laura Milford. I work at the Field Museum in a division called Environment, Culture, and Conservation. And we work to link up communities to natural areas on the south side of Chicago. And it's a very unique, pretty exciting position for museums to take. Because usually when you think of the Field Museum, you think of what? Dinosaurs and mummies and collections within the walls of the museum. And it's our exciting privilege to try and take those collections and to translate that out into the real world communities and to bring those collections to life and to work on actual on-the-ground conservation projects. So we do that internationally in the Andes and Amazon region, and then we also have focused on the south side of Chicago in this lovely Calumet region that Mark so wonderfully put this map together of. And so we've identified this region just because of its rich biological treasures, its wonderful juxtaposition of natural areas and industry. There's a great need to try and help conserve some of these last remnants and help to restore some of the other damaged ecosystems. And so we do all kinds of community engagement projects to help restore the health of our natural communities and the health of our human communities as well. So we do restoration work days all throughout the month. We do this across the Calumet region, but we at the Field Museum help to especially focus in on volunteers on the south side of Chicago. So I know I've seen some faces out there. We did a plant ID class last week in partnership with Shirley Hines Land Trust, trying to help people develop their plant identification skills. I saw somebody else, we did a frog monitoring workshop, so we have some new frog monitors that are out here who are going to be training their ears out at sites like this throughout the Calumet region. So if you have any questions about what else we do in terms of restoration and conservation and what that language all means, just let us know. But we're excited to be here and to try and do our best to fill in the gaps. Jerry's a wonderful resource as far as Hegewisch Marsh, but we'll try and tell you what we do know. We have a copy of the management plan here with us today. It's a 100-acre site that, I don't know, Jennifer, if you can tell us please how long they've been doing restoration or when they identified this site.
2007 is when restoration efforts really started in earnest, and they've been working pretty hard since then with some grant money National Coastal Wetlands grant money and stimulus funding to do a lot of the restoration efforts.
And it was a mess.
And it was a mess.
It was a mess. There was a lot of stuff that had to get pulled out of here to just get to the basic starting point of ecological restoration was like, you know, cleaning out all the old refrigerators and tires and cars and slag, and there's all kinds of stuff here. So,
everybody know what slag is?
No.
Yeah.
Byproduct of the steel making
It's like a rock
process.
almost.
Yeah.
And this area has dumped a tremendous amount of it in Lake Michigan and elsewhere. So virtually anywhere you go from here south, you're going to run into, walk on some element of slag. It was used for road spaces a lot of times. I think in Indiana they filled something like 200,000 acres of Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our Boy Scouts can keep their eyes open. We pay attention to my time and chunks of it along the trail.
Okay. Usually we say don't take things from natural areas, but if you find chunks of slag, feel free to take
Or
them.
So we want this to be interactive today, so please feel free to ask questions and see if we can answer them. And I think we're going to start walking in this direction, and you'll see on this side the wetland that they've done some major restoration work on, and so we've seen the return of muskrats here. Their homes that they've built, and we'll just head in this direction.
How many of these trees were taken out?
Maybe we should look at a map too, just so you guys can orient yourselves before we head out.
And I want to promise everybody that in the summer hikes will be warmer. Please join us.
So yeah, if you look at your Calumet map, you can see Hegewisch Marsh is the #1 on the map, so just so you can place yourself within the context of the region.
Number one?
#1, yep.
Okay.
Marsh Calumet.
Oh, okay. Anybody else want a green drinks flyer? Please feel free to send those around one more time, please.
And then we can also see here, Mark, I don't know if you want to help us interpret this map here, but you can see where we are in relationship to the Calumet River, because our path today will take us down to the river and back.
We're going to walk over to the Calumet River. The Calumet River is the twin river of the Chicago River. It also flows lazily across the very flat Chicago landscape. It doesn't quite know where it wants to go. It starts in Indiana, 35 miles that way, and ends up in Chicago right here, never more than a few miles from Lake Michigan, and it never quite makes it to Lake Michigan. It needed a lot of help. So one of the ways it got help was they ended up having to dredge parts of it and widen it and deepen it. And in fact, on our hike today, we're going to walk across a part of the old channel of the Calumet River, and we'll see where that goes. So the Calumet River is widened to navigational standards, and when we get to the river, we're going to get to the Continental Divide between the Mississippi watershed and the Great Lakes and St. Lawrence watershed. So if you have a coffee and you spill it on one side, it'll end up in New Orleans, and you spill it on the other side, it'll end up in Quebec. So that is the ground zero of the fight against the invasive Asian carp. It's the last barrier, one of the barriers between those watersheds. So we'll see that. That's O'Brien Lock and Dam. So here's the Calumet River coming this way, and it works its way northward. Right now we're over here. Here's Torrance, and this is the patch of ground we are in right now. When we get over there too, we'll see large landfills. You'll always hear sounds of the industrial region around us. And the northern edge of this is framed by the South Shore Railroad, so we'll see that as we go too. The river, this is the Grand Calumet snaking its way in to join the Little Calumet. So you can see the little, it's typically upside down regional logic. The Little Calumet is a gigantic stream, and the Grand Calumet is this little old thing here that trickles in. And it used to kind of bend this way through the marsh. In about 1938, they widened it and straightened it through the area here. So, and also on this aerial photograph, you can see a lot of the tree cover of the region. In fact, more trees than were desired were on the site. They have a So a lot of the restoration was to turn this, turn them into logs, and then to turn them into mulch, and we'll walk on them. That's to open it up a little bit more and get a little bit more diversity of sunlight at the floor of the forest here.
And partly it was because a lot of those were cottonwood trees, which soak up a lot of the water, and so the water levels in the marsh weren't quite what we would have hoped because the cottonwoods were drawing up so much of that groundwater.
This is Bishop Ford Expressway here, 9094. Here's 130th Street, and all this stuff that we're about to see happens just tucked around the next little corner, just like so many of these places in this region here.
The marsh, question about the marsh here. When I was younger, I could never see the water. Now, was the muskrats a part of, did they naturally get rid of some of those cattails that were choking it out?
I think there was a major restoration work that happened, and then sort of fostered the right conditions for them to return and do their thing. I don't know, it looks like they sort of, help balance it out, but I do think that a big part of a human project that then resulted in such a change in the landscape.
This was always, though, an interesting sight to naturalists, even as they picked their way past the appliances that were out there. Especially well known was the yellow-headed blackbird, which I don't know what the sightings have been like lately.
Actually, because the muskrat are doing so well, what they built their lodges out of are those same reeds that you used to see. And unfortunately, that's where the yellow-headed blackbird loved to perch, was on those reeds. So as one species has done better now, because of the change in conditions, the yellow-headed blackbird has not had as much of the habitat that it prefers. The sightings have not been as good in recent years.
Yeah. It's probably a good birding area in general.
Oh, great birding area. There's actually a bird hike here on April 23rd. Hope to see some of you back for the
Cub
bird
Scouts
hike.
won't be there because you'll never see a bird. You'll never see anything when we're on our hike. Nothing.
Right, an exaltation of Cub Scouts.
Did everybody get a chance to sign in?
No.
All right, and we can do it at the end too, or along the way.
Okay.
Do we want to at least see who has been to Hegewisch Marsh before? Has anybody been out here before? Okay.
Great.
Over the course of many years, have you seen it? Yeah. Great.
The other thing to say about the marsh is that part of the restoration activities, a lot of which were happening under large grant proposals and with ecological professionals, a lot of the other work happens with kids. And it's a very common sight to see swarms of children on the site because tree planting, all kinds of activities. This is a really key site, especially because it's right here in the city. It's accessible, and it's a great environmental education site. And so there's all kinds of things that I think Jennifer will point out as we go along, right? Things that are done out here. Yeah. One of the things that the site was used for was off-the-road vehicles. All-terrain vehicles, which has been used as part of the restoration.
Mark,
Yeah, so we're talking about
some small parts of that record is on the in the archive pages on the CSI website too.
Kevin Murphy with Calumet Stewardship Initiative. Calumet Stewardship Initiative, that is the name of the website. So www, right?
Yeah, you do better right now. We've gone through server changes, so I can't tell you the website address anymore because I can't remember the dumb thing. But if you go to the Facebook and go to Calumet Stewardship Initiative, you'll get an opportunity to link to the site then, because the address has changed several times and it's a nightmare. So try Facebook if you can, and you can link to us through the Calumet Stewardship Initiative there.
We often call it the CSI, but not as kind of the Society, Calumet Stewardship Initiative.
Except the crimes against nature. We have some of that recorded there then. Yeah.
So shall we get walking and moving? I know it's kind of cold out.
He's one of these Gen Y guys, he's got Facebook and Twitter, and he's all over it. Yeah.
We're Facebooking about it right now.
All right. Okay, so
We head off.
go that way.